Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with Dustin Fox, G. Bush. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Anthony and Steve behind the glass. We've got Mikey McNuggets and Jason Lloyd at Cavs Media Day. I'll say for the, 20th year in a row, whatever it is, why the Cavs do Media Day on a Monday.
After a Browns game.
After a Browns game. I don't understand it. It's even worse, too, because the Guardians, too, now. Yeah. But, I know the season's almost back. Couldn't they do it on a Wednesday? Like, do it on a Tuesday. That's the Browns' day off. You're least likely to have Browns
just from their standpoint, it's not like, we're like, insecure about our team being, not the
you get better coverage.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's just smart.
It is what it is. But we will touch on the Cavs later when Mike and Jason join us. We may have a player. We may not. We don't know. It's ebbing and flowing. We're going to get to the Guardians, obviously. Later in the show, we'll look ahead to the playoffs with the Guardians. In just a few minutes, we'll look back to what the Guardians accomplished this weekend in clinching a playoff spot and then clinching the AL Central. We'll do instant reactions to that in a moment, but we'll begin with our instant reactions to the Browns. You got to read first? Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, guys, today we're going to start off with some FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready to kick it off with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I like using FanDuel because it's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little bit more energy to my Sundays. So, I got a question. Are you guys ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That's FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet.
All right, Browns lose, get crushed by the Lions. Dustin, give us your instant reaction to the game.
Sort of expected it. Didn't think that the Browns were going to be up to it offensively.
Yeah.
Honestly, the game sort of went the way that I thought it would go, which would be kind of be close a little bit early. The defense would play good until our offense would just basically start sputtering, and that's what happened in the ball game. And then the dam broke. Special teams. Yeah. You give up touchdowns on special teams, then the defensive touchdowns or turnovers. It's just it's not good for the Browns. And the Lions are a damn good team, a team that some people think could come out of the NFC and win the Super Bowl. I guess I thought that they would be they'd be able to do a little more offensively than they were able to do against the Packers because the Packers were so good on defense going into that game. Mm-hmm. But I was wrong. Our offense stinks. Joe Flacco is just old. And I said last week that at some point, you'll go to the rookie. It's a matter of when. Yeah. And this is the time.
Yeah.
It's the time. Maybe not this week because they're going to London, unfortunately. Yeah. But when they get back from being across the pond, they got to make a move.
All right, we'll get more into that in a little bit because I think we're going to probably all be in agreement on that. G. Bush, your instant reaction to the Browns?
Yeah, I don't lost a lot of the vitriol and sting that it has because we was talking about it beforehand. I played on some teams where we went 1-10, and it's the only time I ever contemplating just straight not wanting to play football. Period. The game is too hard on your body. The game is too tough. The time and energy you put into it and to not get anything out of it, being a defensive player is tough. I think last game against the Packers was fool's gold, and it fooled a lot of people into thinking that that's a way that the Cleveland Browns can win football games by just playing out of their mind defensively and then carrying water for an offense that can't put points on the board. It don't work that way. The Lions is a really good football team. But even the Lions didn't even play their best game. They were sloppy. Yeah. They had interceptions. They didn't convert. They didn't do anything pretty much the second half. The defense kept them in the football game. But when you got punt returns and kick returns and stuff like that, and you got a quarterback who can't I don't even
You got
know.
receivers that can't catch. You got quarterbacks that can't throw, can't move.
Receivers, half the time when it ain't there, we throwing interceptions. But when it do come to them, they ain't catching the rock. You got tackles that are terrible. And at some point in time, look, we didn't create the roster. I didn't create it. Dustin didn't draft these dudes. They drafted them. So I get what you're saying that, they don't have the roster. They don't have the tackles. They don't have this. They don't have that. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are responsible for, when we talk about collaboration, when we ask them every year, who's picking the players? They say it's a collaborative effort. This is what you picked. You chose your roster. You can't come back to me now and say, well, we don't have X, Y, and Z when we didn't give you the money to go out and get the groceries. You got the groceries from the farmer's market. We didn't tell you which ones to get. We just said, come make us a good meal. Every single week, we got this nasty Salisbury steak in the microwave. At the end of the day, you don't have a quarterback, and I'm questioning if, at some point, if they don't make changes quick enough, do you have the right general manager or coach? Do you have what it takes? You haven't seen 20 points since December of last year. You got games and games and games. You're 4-17, I believe, in your last, I don't know how many games. And out of those games, and by the way, when you were throwing for 300 yards every single game with Jameis Winston, Stefanski wasn't even the coordinator. It was Dorsey that was calling the plays. So, in my opinion, it's time to really start zoning in on this. And I can't keep giving Kevin Stefanski these passes when every single week is something happen. We got this thing where it's everything in the world is just happening to the Browns and it's bad. No, bro, at some point you got to pull yourself up and say, guys, this is not acceptable and we got to figure it out and get something done. But, for us, it's the same thing every single week, Bull. You hear the press guy, we got to get better. It's on me, but it don't get better. So I'm done being salty about it and trying to convince people that change needs to happen. I just go, go Guardians. Cavs.
Go Guardians.
We'll get
Bucks.
into it
Go Bucks.
right.
Yeah. Go Bucks.
Including the playoffs, the Browns have lost 20 of their last 24 games. Going back to the final regular season game of 2023, including the playoffs, the Browns are 4-20 in their last 24 games. Obviously, I was going to say it's the worst, but the Titans might actually be equal or just as bad, but still, one of the two worst. Part of me says, well, I thought they were going to stink. I didn't pick them to win many games, so can I kill them for being this bad? No, I'm not going to kill them to being that bad because I expected it. But it's still, once you actually see them play, like, it first of all, it shows you that no matter how good your defense is, you cannot win. Like, back in the day, with the Ravens back in the day, the Buccaneers even to some degree, or the Buccaneers, I was going to say the Seahawks to some degree, but not even those Seahawks.
But the Seahawks had running backs.
But they had good off. They at least had decent offensive team. Right. But back in those days, like, your defense could be so overwhelming that it was you could win games 13-10. Like, you could win low-scoring games 20 years ago. You can't win that way. You have 22 teams in this league averaging 20 or more points per game. You have like half the league averages 24 points or more, right? Believe it or not, the Browns are actually 31st, not 32nd in points per game. The Titans are even worse.
They're 15th, right? They have 15 points a game, something like that.
The Browns are averaging exactly 15. The Titans are averaging like 14 and change. So, I mean, you cannot again, the Browns defense, keep in mind, the Browns have faced 4. I know you look at the Bengals now aren't, because Browning. But you faced Burrow. You didn't face Browning. The Browns faced 4 of the 10 best defenses in the league, offenses in the league. You have faced the worst quarterback you faced is Jordan Love.
And he put 40 points up last night on the road.
Jordan Love or Jared Goff, whoever you think's worse of the two. They're both good quarterbacks, right? Yes. You faced 2 great quarterbacks, 2 good quarterbacks. You faced teams with all kinds of weapons on offense. And your defense just played fantastic. They didn't lose that game because of defense yesterday. Most of the Lions' drives were short because of turnovers, because of field position on the special teams. We gave the special teams a 1-week reprieve because they had a good week last week, and they were this was like the worst that it's ever been. You're giving up, was it a kick return or a punt return? Punt return for a touchdown. Like every return, I feel like when the Browns return the ball, it goes like 3 yards. It's a
2
fair
yards.
catch. Every team against the Browns, they at least get 15 yards on the return, it seems, almost every time. Those are hidden yards. You don't see those in the statistics. That kill you.
It absolutely kills you. And you're right. It is hidden yardage that a team like the Browns, they need to win the hidden yardage battle.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like, you know, that's how Army wins football games. Like,
yes.
You know, the Browns don't. They're challenged offensively. Okay.
Yeah, nice way to put it.
This man's comparing them to Army and Navy. When you are getting compared to the Marines, and they don't even have a football team.
We're limited.
Yeah.
You can't.
They should be running. Maybe they got to run the triple option. I don't know. Though.
Something to level the playing field. I mean,
it's crazy.
I'm sort of joking, obviously, guys, but I mean, but you know, my point is like the military academies. They have to like find ways to every way. You know, they got to score on special teams, defense, what have you. The Browns need that to win games too, and they're not getting it.
No,
they're not going to get it.
No, they had to play a essentially perfect defensive game last week to win, only because Jordan Love threw that pick. And they're a 1-3 football team. I'll be surprised if they win this week. I can't believe they're only a 4-point dog. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Well, say what you want about Pittsburgh. They keep winning. They find ways to win every week. They're the anti-Browns.
Their defense, number one, looks good. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He didn't have a terrible year last year.
No, I wouldn't say he's Aaron Rodgers. He's not elite anymore, but he's still solid.
I mean, dude, how in anyone's right mind would you yesterday have bet on Carson Wentz over Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. And Carson Wentz's numbers are so misleading as he put up all those numbers in garbage time.
He threw it, the 81-yard almost touchdown to, what's-his-face on the outside, the USC receiver.
I didn't see
it. Former USC receiver.
What's his name?
Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Look, we're going to get to a point where it comes Tuesday, and this is always what we get. We'll talk about Monday, and we'll say what the Browns do. But by Tuesday, somehow you turn on the TV, somehow you turn on the radio, you listen to the podcast, and all of a sudden this wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, guys. We were a couple plays away from being in that football game. Stop it. Stop the madness. Like, what are we doing here? Like, the Cleveland Browns are an expansion team on offense.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive, we were saying it right before we went on the air. That first drive was awesome. They moved the ball down the field. Flacco was 6 for 6 for 70 yards. Judkins had a couple of nice runs. Even with the nervousness on the goal line because it took till fourth down to get in, they found a way. They got in. And then after that, I don't know. He only completed 58% of his passes. Now they have to go in 6 for 6 on the first drive.
I talked to TA on the drive-in. We were chatting about some analytics stuff and some gambling numbers and things like that. And he texted Zach yesterday because it's like free money. If the Browns score like early in the game, like an opening drive, take the Browns team total under immediately.
Because that first touchdown raises it.
Yes,
and then you go from the under 100%. From there instead of the initial game.
100%.
All right, we'll get back to the Browns in a little bit, of course. But now it's time to do the good news. We did get the bad news out of the way. We go to the good news. Guardians instant reactions. First, Anthony.
Yeah, guys, this Guardians is brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. I've been playing Prize Picks now, and it's so much more fun than paying attention to any of my other 2 fantasy teams. I like the daily stuff. I like the weekly stuff. So go download Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
All right, so now, coming up later in the show, we'll talk about what the Guardians have coming up in terms of the series with the Tigers. But let's talk about what happened this weekend and over the last few weeks, guys. G, why don't you start with your instant reaction to the Guardians sealing the deal this weekend and making the playoffs?
First and foremost, my peoples was in town. They was excited. They didn't even hardly watch the Browns.
You say my peoples. What does that mean?
My mom, my
Okay.
dad. There was mom, dad, and my younger brother and my niece.
Came to your house?
Came to the house.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah. My peoples. It's like it could be cousins.
It could be anybody.
It could be
It could have been me.
Yeah, it could have been. You could have been peoples at
Just
the
making
crib.
sure I'd be included.
Yeah, you in the camp, man. You know what I'm saying? As always, man. If your number start with a 330, you in the camp. So I will say this: they came in pumped. They watched all the games this weekend, and the thing I commend the Guardians with is, I compare them to all the rest of the teams all the time, and that's what we're gonna do. That's just what happens when you got sibling rivalry. But the thing I enjoy the most about the Guardians is take a look at the roster, the playoff roster. Take a look at the guys that they had on to finish the season that won the division. How many of them was in the minor leagues at one point in time?
This year?
This year.
Quite a bit.
Guys down and up.
Yeah,
Even guys going down. Rocchio, Valera, guys who Cephas came on up.
So we can go through it real quick.
All right.
All right. We got on the hitting side. You've got Rocchio.
Mm-hmm.
You got Martinez. You've got Arias. You've got Cephas.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Rodriguez. You've got Noel. That's 6.
That's 6.
Am I forgetting anybody else?
Did they send?
Did they send Manzardo down early? in the
No.
year? No.
No, he was up all year.
Valera.
Valera.
Yeah.
7. So that's at least 7 on the hitters.
Schneemann.
I think he was up the whole year, Schneemann.
I'll check, but
Because I think he
he was
started
up.
with the team. I want to say, and I think Schneemann was on the team the whole year. Now, pitchers: Ciccone, Cantillo, Messick. That's 3 of your 6 starters. In the bullpen,
Okay.
Zach Kent, although I don't think he's going to be on the playoff roster. Matt Festa.
I cannot believe you're saying these names right now.
Yeah.
Because if you'd have said these names
Yeah.
to me 3 months ago,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, you could be making them up.
Yeah, right.
You literally
Yeah.
be making these names up. And this team's going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
They won
that's
the division.
That's at least 12 off the top of my head.
Off top.
That's half the team.
So
I'm probably forgetting 1 or 2 bullpen guys on the back end of the pen.
Half of the squad was in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And you know what they did? They not only came in and got hot, they had to win like 20 out of 22 through 23 games.
They won 19 out of 23, I believe, to conclude the season.
So it just goes to show you. We was killing Stephen Vogt. We was like, yo, did the team quit on him? It was, Tanner Bobby going off in the dugout. You had multiple people under investigation, but guess what? They came in every single day. It was like, it don't matter who's up. It don't matter who's in the minors. It don't matter if you was in the minors. Whoever is in this locker room, we depend on you to get it done. Pitching was fantastic. I almost said fantabulous. I've been watching too much E. Watching too many Kardashians. It was fantabulous. And they turned around and put the Tigers in a position now where if you're the Tigers and you got to play the Guardians 3 games at home, and they already got the Scooble. Mind you, they got the Scooble multiple times. This dude was unhittable, and they got to him 2 series in a row. To me, this is one of the greatest improbable comebacks in the history of not only baseball, but all sports, Bull, because to do that, Dustin, 19, 20 games in a row, you had to have that just to get to the last part of the season? It's impossible.
Well, there's obviously a big factor that the Tigers had an epic collapse
As well,
It's part of
both
it. It's part
things
of the,
had to happen.
Part
Yeah.
of the story. I mean, maybe they're in the playoffs, but they're not winning this division without the Tigers having
That's
this
right.
epic collapse.
Yeah.
With that being said, this is historical. No team's ever made up a gap of 15 and a half games in the history of Major League Baseball. I didn't know that until this morning. I heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
My man D. Ryder talking about it. And I was thinking to myself, that's insane. 15 and a half games. And the Guardians, they didn't just make the playoffs. They won the division. They took the division.
Right.
Like, we have a movie made about this organization called Major League. And that movie felt like far-fetched. This is far-fetched, what they're doing right now.
It's funny that you say that because I was just saying yesterday morning, Zach and I were doing the Guardian show, and I said, this is the team that's closest to the Major League team.
100%.
From that movie.
Because they got a bunch of slappies.
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst lineup that's ever made the playoffs. I've ever seen make
They're
the playoffs.
doing it with non-scholarship guys.
I mean,
Walk-ons.
So
walk-on hitters.
None of my criticism early in the year for the front office changes. None of it. But the players and the coaching staff deserve a ton of credit because they could have easily. There were a lot of teams
Folded.
that packed it in and said, we'll get them next year. They could have easily done it. They won 19 of 23. They had to. I mean, I guess technically they could have lost one more, but they basically had to win almost every game for 3.5 weeks, and that's what they did. For this team to win 88 games, think about this. The other 5 division winners in Major League Baseball have a run differential of plus 75 or better. All 5, plus 75 or better. The Guardians' run differential is -6.
So
How's it possible? You've never seen this before.
No! I've never seen a team come back down 15. They were down 11 games on September the 4th. That was 25 days
That
ago.
wasn't even a whole month
They were
ago.
11 games out in 3rd place, and they won the division by a game. I mean, it's just bonkers.
and I think now they've been in the playoffs. Is it now 15 out of 20? I mean,
No, 15, not 15 out of 12. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it. But obviously, they've been a decent amount of times.
I mean, in the last 10 years, it's just you look at this. So it doesn't really matter who they got. The pieces really kind of changed around Jose Ramirez. And by the way, they were sellers at the deadline too.
Yeah.
They sold,
They traded Shane Bieber.
and here we are.
And again, we'll look ahead in a little later. But it was just so fun watching. They celebrated on Saturday when they clinched the playoffs.
And I thought they'd
and they
lose
celebrated again yesterday.
I thought they'd lose yesterday, but
Yeah.
you
And
know,
it didn't matter ultimately because the Tigers
it
lost.
didn't, but then it was Rocchio that hit the home run.
Rocchio hits that home run.
Yeah, I mean, because they give up the 3 runs in the top of the 10th.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're just like, who cares? We still won the division.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. And then they come back and win.
I know.
I mean,
Nice way to cap it
yeah.
off.
It's so Guardians. The previous night, you get to walk off his back.
Right.
Wait, like that's how you like. How do you even celebrate that? Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
I fell right into that pitch.
Wins a win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that. Listen, I'm gonna enjoy it. And the thing about it is, I was talking to Bull about the playoff series. I said, man, when did they change this up? Where was I at when you got into the wild card where you get 3 home games?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
what
only
an
been,
advantage.
I think it's only been 4. I think this is the 4th or 5th year that it's been there. As you can see, the playoff games are all at 1 o'clock. We'll talk more about that later.
I was just going to say, last 10 years, they've only missed the playoffs 3 times. They missed them in 2015, 2021, and 2023.
2023.
And just think, if the Browns had that level of consistency, what would we be saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
during that time, the Browns have gone to the playoffs once.
We could knock them.
Twice, sorry.
We could knock them. We still want them to spend money, but you still can't knock the fact that 7 out of the 10 years, we always, with less money, with less talent, with less everything, consistently get it done and go to the
because
playoffs.
it is a good organization in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to pitching. That always gives you a chance. And coming up later, we'll talk about the matchup of the Tigers and what the potential pitching matchups might look like. We know Scooble is going to go for the Tigers in Game 1.
Gavin.
I assume it'll be Gavin Williams
Better
for the
be.
Guardians.
It's listed as Gavin right now.
Better be.
I know Vote hasn't announced it officially, but it will be. But who will they use if there is a Game 3? That'll be interesting. We'll get back to that later. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, guys, actually, before I move on to the next one, before I do my read, Mary Kay put out a tweet that the Browns have traded swapped a 6th and 7th in 2027 and gotten tackle Cam Robinson for the Browns offensive line. He is currently listed on ESPN as inactive, though. Just a heads
he
up.
drafted by the Browns? Cam Robinson? Or is that am I thinking about somebody else?
That was
I think he was
the
drafted
other
by the
Robinson.
Jaguars.
He was drafted in
By the Jaguars?
2017 or 2017
first-round pick?
Jacksonville, 34th overall pick.
Yeah.
34th
He's
is the
6'6", 335.
And where did he go to school at?
Yeah, he's been a bust.
Oh, I remember Cam Rob. Oh man, that's why the name sounds familiar because he was supposed to be like a 1st-round pick, slid, and never has really done much. Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh, that's who we went and got.
Hey, whatever.
Hey.
Yeah, okay. So there you go. You got to do a read?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Before we get into quarterback change time, I wanted to tell you guys that it's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of golf course favorite with a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies and making great memories with the friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or you just need a little extra push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers clubhouse flavor you love without ever having to leave the green. And golf is all about good times and good people, and especially good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without ever leaving the course or chasing down the bev card. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament, and it ends October 31st, 2025.
By the way, Cam Robinson is 30 years old. He was a first-round pick. The Browns are his. Well, he'll be 30 years old in like a week. The Browns are the fourth team he's played on in the last 11 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was with Jacksonville his whole career. Then Jacksonville, in October of last year, traded him to Minnesota. They let him go at the end of the season. Houston signed him this year. He played in the first 3 games. He started 1, and then he was inactive this past week, and now he's traded to the Browns for, like this. He's a former first-round pick, so maybe but he's 30 years old. He's been on 4 teams. Offensive linemen that make no money don't get passed around like that if they're any good.
Yeah.
No.
So I can't imagine he's going to be much of an upgrade, but whatever. Okay, Anthony, so let's talk about Joe Flacco.
Unfortunately, yeah, we got to ask the question, guys.
Yeah.
It's time, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're going to London, it's time.
Well, Dustin said they probably won't because it's London.
I don't think
they probably won't. But
yeah.
Is there a reason in your mind why London means you shouldn't do it?
There's just less time to prepare because there's travel involved,
Right.
and it's not like an ideal situation for a rookie to start because you're off your schedule. It's a different deal. I'd want the veteran to handle this game. I'd probably ideally rather him start after a bye at home.
Yeah.
If that's like the ideal situation.
Yeah. Well, there's no bye coming up, but
No, I know.
They obviously this game. Then you got the Steelers on the Road, so we'll see.
That's a tough spot.
After that, you've got I believe
Miami,
the Jets
right?
at home. No, Miami at home, and then the Patriots, then a bye, then the Jets.
The Dolphins game is the game that
He's got to be starting by the latest that game, no doubt about it. I know it makes you're right. Rationally, they shouldn't start him this week. I'm like, what do you got to lose? I mean, Joe Flacco, we all love Joe. He's had a great career. He's a really good player. But
here's the
he just can't play anymore.
Here's the thing with Flacco.
Yeah.
We thought that at least his floor was a certain level, that
That's
he
right.
wouldn't go below that.
That's right.
And now that he has gone below what we thought was the floor, like the worst case scenario, he's been worse than we thought he could be. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with him personally. It has nothing to do with his career. It's not going to
No.
it's Father Time is undefeated. We
Yeah.
know that, and this is the point we're at.
That's right. And most quarterbacks go completely off the cliff by 40 outside of Tom Brady, and that's what we're seeing. G. Bush, he's finished. It appears.
Man. Shout out to Joe in his career.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers on the Hall of Fame list, Joe Flacco is, I think he's almost in the top 10 in yards thrown in the league. But with that being said, ain't got nothing to do with this today. Come on over here. Let me talk to you real quick. Dillon, get on ready, man. Get on ready. You already 30 yourself. You almost 30 yourself. You just don't look like it. Dillon Gabriel done played all them games, right? I would be telling Dillon right now, hey, get you some sleep. Matter of fact, when we go to London, we got one of them nice Airbuses. You know what I'm saying? You don't even feel you moving. Get you one of them flat beds. We're going to put him in the back and let him sleep the whole way over there. The whole time we listening to plays. You going to get ready. By the way, Minnesota is looking like, okay, J.J. McCarthy and what they got, that ain't no juggernaut game. Let's go ahead and get ready to go.
Well, I don't even know if McCarthy's going to play.
So
they got Wentz again.
It might be Carson Wentz. So what better way to get me a nice dub or look better than get Carson Wentz against this defense? See, this is the thing. You want to get these dudes playing while the defense still gives a you-know-what. while the defense is still relatively fresh, while the defense is still involved and engaged. Because if you can put Dillon Gabriel out there and the defense can keep the game close, at least you can see around and do some things. By the way, people are saying, I heard Jason say this morning, they playing with half a playbook because of Flacco. Well, listen, if you playing with half a playbook and you're that handicapped and you are that handcuffed as an offensive play caller, then you must make a change. Not if I feel and look. You must, because you cannot win in the league. You give yourself no chance to win. And by the way, when you talk about the whispers, it's already happening. They keep having them. Y'all be listen up here. They keep having them. The defense keep having them little meetings over there on the sideline. Them team only meetings. Trust me. Keep trotting him out there. Them team only meetings gonna turn out to team only statement meetings out and about. Where, hey, I don't know what we doing on the offense. You don't want that problem. The 85 Bears. They had a whole situation. Buddy Ryan used to go around and have defenses, and they was offense versus defense. It's the offense over here, and we don't like what you're doing, and it's the defense talking about the offense. Things can devolve really quickly. If you don't think that these guys are looking at that performance, where was he throwing the football? He's throwing the ball up backwards. He got strip sacked twice. One of them just got called back.
And he should have had a third pick
He should have had a third pick.
Yeah.
His QBR is like 39.
It's actually sub 30 now. I believe it's 27.
Oof.
Steve, do you want to pull up Flacco season stats?
Come on, man, stop. It's time. It's been time. I would have been made the move, bro. And listen, it can't get no worse.
Oh my God.
It can't get worse than that. There's no what's the basement? There's no basement in
Well,
that.
that's the thing, and Dustin's right. What he said before is like you thought you had this at least solid floor with Flacco, that it wouldn't be a total disaster. That you'd get the picks, but you'd get the touchdown. We're not getting the touchdowns.
They're not coming.
The offense can't move. They've had 4 competent drives in 5 weeks or 4 weeks. I mean, you can't win football games that way. You can't score 14 points a game on average, and obviously it's been less than the most they scored was the first week where they scored 16, right? Or they scored more than 16 in any of the other games?
No. I don't think so, right?
4 games, you scored 16 points.
No, you didn't.
No.
You had 10 twice.
And by the way, as good as the 4 teams you've played are on offense, Bengals defense stinks. Ravens defense stinks.
Terrible.
The Packers defense, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's
40
good.
last night.
They get 40 last night.
It was misleading.
I thought Dallas would be feisty at home,
Yeah,
but their defense is decent, we'll say, and Detroit's defense is decent. They haven't played like a top-notch defensive team, and they can't score. They can't score at all. So it's not going to change. The offensive line's not going to magically get better. Joe Flacco's not going to magically get better. Dillon Gabriel really cannot play any worse. I just don't think he can. And if he does, he does. Okay, they were going to lose anyway.
Can we
and if he does play terribly,
Yeah.
okay, fine, play Shador for a
Then
few
play
games.
Shador. Let's
Find
go.
out what you got.
Yes, I'd play Dillon Gabriel now. And I give him 3-4 games. If he's improving, stick with him. If he plays well, stick with him. If he stinks, go to Shador. Let's go.
Listen, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
See, because you got a team that got a franchise quarterback. If you was in charge of the Bengals,
Yeah.
and Kevin Stefanski was available,
Yeah.
would you hire him to coach Joe Burrow and be the offensive coordinator?
It's a tough question because I think he's better than Zach Taylor. I don't think Zach Taylor's a very good coach. But I like Kevin Stefanski, and I like having stability. But I've lost faith in Kevin Stefanski. So ultimately, I'd rather take a shot on another coach that maybe could be a good coach. But I do think Kevin Stefanski's probably just as good, if not better, than Zach Taylor.
They probably need to get to a little more of a motivator.
The Bengals or the Browns?
The Browns.
Oh, yeah.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw your post, your rant that you posted on Instagram. As I was kind of going through this morning, I gave it about a minute.
Okay.
Which is a long time for me.
Yeah, it is. You usually
And
get 25 seconds.
I got the complete gist of it really quickly, and it's like, if you can't score, if you're not going to be the offensive wizard that we all think you are or supposed to be, the quarterback whisperer,
Right.
what have you. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You know, I mean, like at least like Dan Campbell in Detroit. Okay,
Yeah.
people made fun of him biting ankles and kneecaps and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Whatever. We don't need necessarily that.
No, it
but,
doesn't-
but you
no.
need to have a little more, a little more juice.
Something.
Right, yeah.
Because if you don't,
Did you guys see Dan Lanning after the Penn State game?
man,
I did not, but was he going
I
nuts?
saw him. I saw.
I haven't played football, Adam, in 20 years.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go make tackles.
that long?
It's crazy, isn't it? It makes me want to go out there and make tackles seeing a guy like that. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
You have to have something. Like if you're not gonna, if your offense ain't gonna hit, I need somebody that's gonna be a master motivator. And I think one of Kevin's problems is, yes, you can give us those same conversations and answers after the press conference because you're not gonna give us nothing anyway. But my thing is, there are certain coaches that have such an honest, genuine spirit and relationship with their players that they can sell them on anything, right? Like if you go, people say he's not ready. If you went to Myles Garrett and you went to the defense and said, and just be transparent. Hey, listen, Myles, listen, you know, I already know what it is. I didn't talk to Andrew. Yeah, we going through some stuff. But let me tell you what, you're a Hall of Fame player and I need your help. I need you to keep those guys ready to go. You go to Joe Flacco. Joe, hey, listen, we're going to roll with you as long as it works. If when it don't work, the second it don't work, we going to the young guys. I just want to let you know up front. You go to the young guys, I need you to be ready. It ain't about doing this. Hey, when Joe's studying, you better soak up everything because your number can get called tomorrow. I need you on the film. I need you to know the scripting. Hey, Tommy Reese, I need you to be getting these young guys ready. Right now, we got a playbook for Joe. But what I need is some college stuff, too. These young boys is from college. I need to get something that's ready to go, that we can shift on a moment, that they can get comfortable in a game if we got to go to them early. If he had that level of communication and motivation, he wouldn't have to be crazy X's and O's, right? He could be a leader of men. And some football coaches ain't great defensively or offensively. You know what they're great at? The Jimmy Johnsons. Jimmy Johnson was great talking to people, and people played hard for him. Not saying that they don't play hard for him, but he could get more out of him.
Well, like here's the thing. Like, has anybody really said, like, man, Mike Vrabel's the biggest X's and smartest guy? I mean, he's a big brain guy.
No.
But I guarantee you one thing, and I know this for a fact, like his staff, smart guys. Analytics based, you know what I mean? But he's the dude out there that's, you know, putting shoulder pads on in practice.
And putting people in a position. Like sometimes, like I think sometimes Kevin could be a really good head coach if he just didn't have his hands on the offense. 'Cause I really truly believe that offensive people need to be strange. Like the Chip Kellys and that you got to be thinking up some stuff. The creativity, when people say making adjustments come from your creativity. Hey, what can you dream up? And my receivers can't catch the ball. How can I get them open? What ways can I move them around and get them a free release or a free catch or easy, dirty yards? Like yards that I just
Dirty yard.
Dirty yards is the ones that we need, right? Right. Listen, and you come out and even giving people a vote of confidence. Like you come out in press conference. Hey, I know Jerry Jeudy is struggling right now. He want to catch the football as much as we want him to catch the football. But he our number one receiver, and I promise next week we're going to get Jerry Jeudy the ball early and often, and he's going to be cool. You know what? That may seem like it's kind of corny, but at the end of the day, it tells Jerry Jeudy, stay locked in for me. Don't, because I know the rookies is coming. I need you to make some catches that may not even be where they is for Joe, but I need you to be what we need you to be when these rookies play. And I just think sometimes he can be a better motivator. But I just don't know if that's him, if that's in you, right?
Yeah. Right. I mean, it seems like you're either that guy or you're not.
Right.
You can't force it. And if you're phony about it, players are going to realize that,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, sometimes it has to come, too, from a little bit of, you know, like if you've been in the trenches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and Stefanski, I know he played football in college and whatever, but like he didn't do it in the league. And not every former player is a great coach either, because Bill Belichick never played, you know, and he's the greatest of all time.
Andy Reid
didn't play.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, but what I do want him to do is I want him to realize that in this league is sink or swim. Like, you could play it safe, but it ain't gonna work for you. Ain't nothing came from just being safe. Like, he could, you know how much respect he would get if he went to them and said, we're gonna put this guy in and we're gonna make sure he succeeds and he actually plays well. He'll look like a genius. All they're missing is the quarterback piece. They got a lot of nice young players. Schlesinger, Judkins. They look like they got it right with Mason Graham. You got some young pieces in Alex Wright and McGuire. You got some stuff. You got a good, top-ranked defense. Have some guts and play the people you drafted. You told us you liked Dillon, didn't you? You said he was the supercomputer.
Yeah.
You said we heard all offseason about why they like him. Let's see it.
Yeah, I think it's time. I would do it now. In terms of the Stefanski angle of this, that'll be something for later in the year. The Browns, it feels like, committed to burying Stefanski for 2 years when they didn't fire them last year, right or wrong. And, you know, I was very much on the fence going back and forth at the end of last year about whether Stefanski should be fired. If they go 2-15, if they go 3-14, maybe they change their mind. You know what's funny is I always thought there was more of an argument to keep Stefanski than Berry. Although I think they're tied at the hip. Right now, you could argue Berry deserves his job more than Stefanski based on this year's draft.
Yeah, I mean, Berry's picked some players that are productive right now.
He looks very, his draft, top 4 players he drafted looks like legit players. All right, something that's not legit, the Browns special teams. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, guys, before we talk special teams, a word from FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It's super quick, easy, and the best way to add a little bit more energy to your Sundays. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That's FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet.
All right, guys, who are we blaming for the special teams mess? Is it Bubba? Is it the players? Is it the head coach? Dustin, who do you mostly blame for this situation?
I don't know, Adam. I mean, it's tough to blame the special teams coordinator, even though, here's why. Because these guys are responsible for getting them lined up, for having schemes and things like that. So, yeah, sure, you're upset about the punt return? Okay, I get it. That's on the coach. He's the one who designed the run lanes, where the guys want to go, what the whole deal is. If you're worried about the kickers in the kicking game specifically, then I just think that the coach doesn't matter quite as much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you played on special teams.
Yeah.
And you've seen how bad their special teams are. Let's just talk about the returns right now. Forget the kicker. Punt and kickoff returns, both when they're returning and when they're on defense, it's bad.
Well,
so what do you make?
They don't have any playmakers to put back there to return the ball.
You're right. That's crazy. Like you said, first and foremost, they ain't got no horses.
So they don't have anybody to put back there. So that's.
What about Isaiah Bond?
I mean, I would put the fastest guy I have back there, but you know how hard it is to catch a punt. I don't know if I trust that guy. He can barely catch a pass.
Well, that's fair.
You know what I mean, some people ain't. Just throwing them back there.
There's a reason why Jim Leonard had a long career in the NFL catching punts.
Yeah,
right.
He's just catching punts.
Yeah.
Not many returns.
It's ugly. Yeah, it's true. G, you blaming the coach, the players? Who you got on this? Is it Stefanski on some level?
You're not going to fire this guy middle of the season.
Yeah, no, I know.
But if the special teams continues, they may hire a new coach next year. They may hire a new head coach next year. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are on the table at this point.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's too many things to point a finger at, to point one finger at one person and be like, it's all his fault.
Because the Browns, you got to think about it. Stuff that happened with the Browns don't be happening to nobody else. They already got a punt block this year, right? Yeah. Who blocks punts? Nobody. They setting up returns.
It barely happens in the NFL.
Ever. Then you get a punt return. Okay, then every time you catch the ball, you giving shout out to Tyvis. Tyvis, your man, got to give up his number. He walking around with that fly number 2, dog. Mr. Carter's walking around with a fly number 2 and getting 2 yards of return, falling down, just slipping and moving around he has adolescent speed, man. There's middle school adolescent. He would be fast for a 13-year-old kid. Like, man, you see that 13-year-old kid? He moving, man. Yeah, he run like a 12 flat in 100. That's your man. He got to get that number up. The special teams is nasty work. They can't just put anybody back there to return punts. We ain't had nobody returning no punts since Josh Cribbs and Travis Benjamin. That's the
Travis Benjamin, man. That guy was so electric.
But and by the way, why don't we have any of those? Like, can we get one? Can we just get a couple? Like we don't have the defense. Got all the ball players. Like Denzel Ward can catch all the footballs. Can you play him on offense? I don't know. We don't need to see Denzel. He got concussion, but never. It'd
be nice just to go out and like just get a guy that is just good at that.
Yeah, like
they tried to do it the last couple of years. What's his name? Last year they signed the guy who used to be on the Colts. He was a returner, but he missed the whole year. I can't think of his name. He's a running back who they signed, and he had missed the whole previous year.
Hines,
right.
Yeah.
But then he missed the whole year again.
Never played.
The year before that, they had signed somebody else who got hurt in training camp.
Somebody got hurt doing a punt return first play of the preseason.
Who was that?
I can't remember who it was, but
that was 2
first
years
play of
ago,
the
I
preseason.
think.
He played for the Dolphins.
Yeah. I think they signed him 2 years in a row. And he got hurt both years.
Jaheim Grant.
Right. So they have, this year they didn't at all. They didn't sign that.
And then they signed Goodwin.
Right. They had him too.
So all four of them got injured because he had concussions. So I guess you tried. See, we can't give Andrew Berry no credit.
No, but this year they didn't do it. This year they really didn't try to get anybody like that.
Can we get that white kid from Iowa? You see that kid?
Oh man, listen and listen.
It's unbelievable.
And they got since Cooper DeJean came back. White dudes at corner.
Exciting whites.
Yeah, they all ready to go. Like see, this is crazy.
It is actually. They've got like two white corners right now.
Right.
They both look like they're going to the league.
I don't understand.
Where are they coming from?
Hey,
what is happening here?
Shout out to the Ferences up there. Y'all can stay with y'all one. Y'all get a couple of them. But no, all just aside though, like, whose problem is it? It all falls under it falls under your head coach. You're responsible for all that. It is what it is. Like if you get credit for being coach of the year, and when the team does well, why would you not get Why would you not get the bad that comes with that when your team is getting punch blocked and everything else? So for me, but Dustin is right. There's there's so many things that's going wrong right now where it's like they can't even plug one hole because water is just coming in all over the place. It's a river of just sorrow and drowning like right now. You can't block nobody. The only thing you got really is Junkins, and that's it. But the special teams, if you're gonna be a bad team, if you're not gonna have offense, they have to be grade A drill sergeant on special teams. And I don't even know if you can be grade A drill sergeant. You can't be Virginia Tech. Like in the pros, could you be grade A drill sergeant? I mean, you got guys that's like kind of halftime starters, some guys playing, but you can't be like this. You can't give up punts and punt blocks and miss field goals. You're never going to win no games, man.
All right, we'll leave special teams there.
Did we get a chance? What do we think about Schmidt missing a kick again in a dome stadium?
Yeah.
It's 56-yarder, guys.
Yeah, it was a long kick. I mean, it's a long kick, and again, it didn't like cost them the game. Or I mean, they were not winning that game.
It wasn't a kick that we expected him to make.
At this point, he's shown enough promise that let's stick with him.
He's the least of our problems, right?
Yeah.
It's almost, and I was the kicker would be messing up guy, but right now I'm more alarmed about the 40-year-old veteran that's been around forever throwing the ball up backwards.
Yeah.
To me, if they went, and this would be much easier on everybody. Can you imagine what people would lay off everybody? All they have to do is say, we got a bunch of rookies. They're playing well.
Yeah.
We're going to go through some growing pains with either Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel. Both of them going to play, and we're going to see how this thing plays out, and we're going to chart their progress. Nobody would trip. We wouldn't be going crazy about like.
Yeah, right. If they lose with the rookies, you're like, okay,
you're
what'd you expect?
We can come here on a Monday and say, oh, well, did you see that pass on 3rd and 6? I thought he did some nice stuff. Or, hey, man, if we can make a play here or there, we lost. But, hey, he came back. He had a 4-quarter drive and came and got us. If you gave us that, we wouldn't even be tripping on you. But you keep giving us this 45-year-old dude.
The Browns and Joe Flacco are like a divorced couple that got back together. It's never the same.
And the family don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Your sister,
it's very uncomfortable for everybody.
She keep bringing up the last time you got in an argument on Thanksgiving. The kids is like, oh no, man. I liked the girl Nancy you was dating better, Dad. You went back to Mom. You know she's still out there spending all the money on the lottery tickets and smoking.
All right, let's talk about one of the few positives, the rookie report. That's coming up in a minute. First
guys, before our rookie report, I want to remind everybody to follow us on social medias on X, Instagram, TikTok. Luke Becker does a great job of posting extra content on Instagram and TikTok for us. Earl and Mike work really hard to post highlights of the show on X. So if you ever miss the live show and you can't catch the full VOD, we got highlights all across our social media for 24/7 coverage. And anytime there is a big breaking news, we usually go live on somewhere, and you can find that we're going live right there on all of our social medias.
Very good. All right, time for the rookie report. Let's start on offense, guys, because that's where there's not a lot of highlights, but
number 10's a player.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's no doubt. We just made a kind of a joke about they don't have playmakers, like in terms of special teams.
Yeah,
that guy's a playmaker. Not going to put it back on kickoff returns.
No, that's not his thing.
But like, I think he's going to continue to become elite.
Yeah.
At that position, and not just running the ball. Like he can catch passes, like break tackles. His yards after contact continues to rise and rise. I mean, just a tremendous pick so far by Andrew Berry.
Yeah, he only averaged, I think, 3.9 per carry yesterday, but he had some nice runs. Obviously, as you talked about, he's gaining a lot of yards after being touched, which was a staple of Nick Chubb's game. I think I'll give him a B+ because it wasn't a perfect game, but still, overall he's been an A, and he looks. I agree with you. He looks like an absolute top
home run
running
pick.
back. He's going to be a really good player if he stays healthy for a long time. That's a big win. The Browns have their bell cow.
I'm like,
back.
if that guy can be good for 5 years,
he's a bell cow, no doubt. Nobody else is really touching the ball. I mean, because Ford stinks. Samson, is what he is. I'm not going to write him off. It's only been a couple
on Friday's
games.
show with Doug, my props.
Yeah.
Carries for Judkins and yards. It was like over 60 yards.
Nicely done. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, G.
The Judkins is, you need more of these. And this is why I'm reluctant on Andrew Berry. Andrew, these guys, him. See, I would be willing to give you that reprieve, but every single time I go watch the Lions play, I just keep remembering you took Anthony Schwartz over Amon-Ra.
How was Amon-Ra wide open for that one touchdown, though?
It was a nice little scheme play. I liked it. But by the way, Judkins, he's a guy. I like his number. He's going to get better. And by the way, he didn't even have no preseason like that. He came back off the street.
Yeah.
You looking around. He came out the courtroom, wherever he was at. He was suspended. He stayed in good shape. But guess what? He ain't even really got his wind about him yet. He ain't even got his legs up underneath him yet. So he going to continue to get better. And by the way, and we said this before, we was giving them a whole lot of love back in the day. I had to go back and start reevaluating. I'm not saying that the Browns' offensive line was garbage before, but when you go back and look at it, you had Prime Chubb and Prime Hunt and Dearness Johnson was nice. Like they was putting they was making the first 2 or 3 guys miss, and they was doing their thing. Now it's a little more tough sledding. So you need a younger back like this that can make guys miss and move around.
And the other thing about him, this is kind of funny. Like I watched Judkins play, and not just how he carries himself, like in terms of how he runs the ball, breaks tackles. Like how many rookies do you remember coming in the league uniform didn't fit him right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yo,
it don't fit him right. But this guy is different. Like the uniform fits him, and it's like a little thing. But to me, I look at him and like that guy looks like he's already been in the league 4 years.
I used to tell him like see Dustin, what he's saying is this is crazy because players be knowing this. When a player put the uniform on and it looked like they got basketball shorts on, and just a jerk, they like, bro, he out here in hoop shorts, bro. He out here, like that means he comfortable. Like his gear fit the right way. His shoes fit. He don't be looking clumsy. He got the right face mask and
everything,
helmet.
everything.
Like the gloves is the way they supposed to be. And when you see them and they get off the bus and they get into, their little individual drills with the music playing Eye of the Tiger before the games, you're like, oh, okay, he got his Beats by Dre. That's one of them. And then he get in the game and he going to give you 60, 70.
No, like you said, bell cow 5 years. Like injuries, fingers crossed, obviously. But if he's healthy, like that guy's going to be your guy.
They got another one like that, too. We're going to talk about on defense. They got one of them. Yeah, that boy Carson Matthews.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll get to him in a second. But first, let's get to the other offensive rookie, and that's Harold Fannin. He didn't have much of a game yesterday.
His uniform doesn't quite fit the way Judkins does.
No.
But I think he's got promise.
I think he's excellent.
We know he can play.
Yeah.
He can play.
There was he had a couple tough passes yesterday. Some of them was contested. There's a lot of them, like when you playing against those. And again, if you know him, he's going to say, I got to make these catches, right? But the one thing that I am encouraged by is when he catch the ball, he is not going down.
There was that one play where they had like 3rd and 17.
Right.
And it looked like they were going to have him stopped 7 yards. And he got to like a half a foot from the first down marker.
If they could just get this man the football in some space consistently, he would be a problem. But it's just like they can't seem to quite. I don't know what they're doing. They throwing all the good seam routes to Blake Whiteheart.
Yeah, what was with that yesterday? That was strange.
Dialed up a play for Mr. Whiteheart, I guess, man. But I think I would give Fannin, yesterday I give him C+, B-.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game for him. But I'll tell you guys, I think the upside on him is huge.
But I love the upside.
I think he could be a top 5 tight end in the league in a couple of years. If the Browns have good, if the Browns can ever get a good quarterback, I think he can be one of those, Sam Laportas and these guys that Trey McBride, like these real. I'm not saying he's gonna be Travis Kelce, but I could see him being like a really good.
We're like living in a really good tight end.
Oh yeah,
generation.
Good young tight ends.
Yeah,
Bowers.
There's just a bunch of really because he
Bowers
was injured.
Is awesome.
You
Yeah,
forget about him a little bit, but there's a bunch of really good ones out there.
And especially if you are a really, really sharp play caller, there's so many ways to scheme these dudes open where it's just cheating now because you don't really see big safeties no more, right? Big safeties and box safeties don't happen too much because you can't hit nobody with your helmet no more. The Brian Dawkins. You can't just put your face mask in somebody's chest or head. No. So now you got smaller guys that you want.
You got to be a hybrid guy. You got to be able to cover and be adequate at tackling.
Yeah,
to be able to play safety.
Speaking of which, I was watching. I'm scrolling through Instagram, and there was this 2-minute video of some big hits from back in the day, and I had Aaron watch it with me, and it's like
you're like that's flag. That's flag.
Every single play was
flag.
There was not an exception, and I'm like, what a different game.
They outlawed. They don't even do the big hits, like the big hit.
They don't do it.
You got rocked, all that stuff. Where
they used to have it. It was NFL Films would do it.
Jacked Up, what was it called?
That was I think
ESPN
thing.
Yeah.
But there was something they used to do on the videos. It was NFL Follies, but they would have like a hit segment,
right,
where it would be all like Night Train Lane, like taking dudes' heads off,
like punching guys in the head.
Yeah. Like it was like arch rivals, dude.
Man, dudes.
They would kill the quarterbacks. And it didn't matter if late hits. There was no late hits.
I mean, guys, think about how many hits guys would get hit underneath the chin by defense.
Yeah.
They turn around off a boot, and the defensive end would just be there. They not only hit them in the chin, they hit them up underneath the chin, and then plant and drive them into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting guys in the hospital.
Okay.
And by the way, that was like talked about. That was like we're putting him in stretcher.
No. That's what we trying to do.
Yeah.
People back then,
it's crazy.
They said, "Could you play now?" I said, "How could I play now?" Back then, horse collaring was the thing to do.
Kind of embarrassing, actually, to think about. We were like really trying to kill guys.
We was really trying to really put helmets.
Yeah,
you don't want nobody to die.
Yeah.
But like if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, like
like Drago.
If
he dies.
Oh, because you say we want to knock him out of the game, and the thing he got his bell wrong. It's like we were literally. It's a different word for it. We was like literally, we trying to give you a concussion, so that you're not in the game no more.
It's crazy.
And it was like, oh, yeah.
And that's even more like if you go back to like the 50s and 60s and 70s.
dude.
Forget about it. Those guys may have been trying to kill each other.
They was
I don't
biting people
know.
on
I
the-
talked to my
biting
Uncle
people.
Tim, who
Yeah,
played
yeah.
in the 70s
Yeah.
and in the league from like
Yeah.
the mid-70s to the 80s.
Yeah.
And like,
Shout out to him, man.
shout out to
Stark County
Uncle
legend.
Timmy, man, legend, all pro. He was trying to kill people, like put his helmet
Yeah.
through people. In fact, I actually ran into one of his teammates like in the last couple of years
Yeah.
who played safety alongside him, or maybe it was a linebacker. And he
Yeah.
was scared always because my Uncle Tim was like a heat-seeking missile, and he said he would get hit in
caught up in
he'd get
it.
hit in the back by my Uncle Tim flying in every time trying to.
Like people was literally, man. They didn't got rid of that in the game, but it's
Yeah.
funny that you see it because then you go back. It's almost like watching like comedy from the 70s. You like they let Richard Pryor say that.
Yeah.
That's you.
Now they let, and now whenever there's a rare big hit, it's always so noticeable because it's so rare.
Last night, did you guys watch the game last night?
I did not watch
Which
last
one,
night's
The
game.
Cowboys game.
Yeah.
So it was the second half. There was
Yeah.
a punt return by Green Bay, and the dude spins right into
into
a direct hit from this
Yeah.
dude covering for Dallas, and it was a fantastic hit. But I immediately thought, oh, this is going to get flagged. Unnecessary roughness.
Every big hit is you think, oh, let me see it.
But they showed it. Then when
Did
they
it get
showed
flagged?
No, it did not. And it was one of the biggest hits I've seen since they've had all these
Yeah,
rules.
yeah,
And I'm like, it's crazy they got away with it. But it was a totally like clean shoulder. You know,
good timing on
it
the
was
hit.
good. I mean,
Right,
it
right.
could have easily been a flag, but it was not. And I was like, man, to your point, it's every time there is a big hit, you're thinking it's going to get a
Yeah,
flag.
yeah. Especially on a quarterback. I mean, you can't
Oh.
do anything to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Like,
And they're still getting hurt, by the way. You're still seeing a ton of quarterback
We
injuries.
try to protect them, and we still
It
can't.
doesn't
remember
matter.
they used to let us. So think about it. You used to be able to horse collar a quarterback from
Yep.
behind. You used to be able to tackle them under their legs if they was just standing.
Hit 'em in
there.
the head.
You was able to tip the ball if you had your hand up and it hit their helmet. As long
Yeah.
as you didn't hit that face mask, you
Right.
was good.
Yeah, you
You was
could've
able to land on them with all your weight.
Yeah.
You was able to leave your feet land on them
You
with
were
all
able
your
to tackle
weight.
them by the knees.
Tackle them by the. Now,
Yeah.
it's almost like now this is where you get to the point where. By the way, Aiden Hutchinson, the way he
Damn.
raked and ripped your boy Flacco, he got him like this. He didn't even know the ball was gone. It was like voila. Now you
Yeah.
see it. Now you don't. I'm like, that was one of the cleanest strip sacks
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Like
Cool.
now it's just give me the ball.
What's the name of who's the Browns right tackle right now? He played left tackle last
I
week.
couldn't tell you.
Lucas,
Lucas.
There you go.
Hutchinson was killing him.
he's not
Killing him.
He can't be.
He can't. Maybe why they made this trade. They're like, oh my god, we can't do this again.
He can't. It looks like his body hurts when he walks.
Yeah.
His whole body hurts.
Before we
Like,
get back to the rookies and the defense, I gotta tell you guys this was funny. Speaking of like playing football, so Aaron's been more into football this year, but he's never shown really any desire to play football. And I'm not sure I even want him to play, but I decided that if he did want to play, I would let him play. So
My son got his first concussion.
really.
Yeah, he's going through right now. Actually, I'm taking him right after the show to the Children's Hospital to get an evaluation. He's been out for 2 weeks.
what position is he playing?
Line. It happened in practice.
Oh, really?
Helmet to helmet, yeah. He got really woozy and was like nauseous.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I was like out of town. I was at Miami of Ohio, and
Yeah.
he called me from practice with his coaches, like on
Yeah.
the bench. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like in tears, dude. I was, like,
Yeah.
freaking out. It was really scary, and it was the first time I actually was like, God, do I really want to play football?
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know. It's a tough decision that every parent's got to make.
Yeah.
Is he back? Like, is he like to the point where did he ever say, "I'm not doing this no more"?
No,
Or
he
just like,
was pissed I had to hold him out.
yeah.
He's the one that wants to play.
Yeah.
Like, if I had my druthers, I'd just say, "You're good, man. Let's get you on the tennis court."
Yeah.
Just do. You all right, dog? You don't need. we don't need it.
Listen, let me get
That's
you in
scary
these
when that
country
happens.
club sports.
Yeah.
But
Well, Aaron wants to play. Aaron is going to wrestle this year.
Okay.
So he's got a 7th grade wrestling
That's
team.
pretty
so
cool,
he's going
man.
to do wrestling. But we were driving past the middle school, and the 7th grade football team was practicing. And I said, dude, you're like bigger than almost every player on the team. And he goes, yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll try out. I'll maybe go out for the team next year. And I was like, really? Because he never really mentioned that. And I said, what position you want to play? He goes, I want to play tackle. Like, all right.
Hey, good guy. He wants to just play tackle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Nobody wants to play tackle. Like
Yeah.
you're like, in 7th grade, did you know G. Bush did not play any organized football ever
I think I did know that.
until I was 14?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of these parents go too nuts having their kids playing in the 2nd grade.
I agree 100%.
It's too much.
And I am of the mindset. And by the way, I started playing in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Which is way too early. And I had
especially for tackle. You want to play flag, okay.
My little brother
like,
played.
dude,
Yeah,
and this is no knock on our coaches, but Garrett, I'm sure. And we had a great youth league coming up in Plain Township. But dude, my coaches, they were bus drivers.
Right. They're not right, exactly.
I mean, they drove the bus.
Yeah.
Like,
I think coaching's better now, probably.
I'm sure it is,
Yeah.
and I, God love them, man, because they gave their time, and it's
Yeah.
hard.
Right.
It's a hard job to go out there and coach,
Right.
and donate. You get paid nothing.
Yeah.
But like we were basically just doing hitting drills.
Just doing nothing.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
stuff you had no business.
We're
Guys
doing
didn't
Oklahoma drill
understand it.
Yeah.
for like an hour, and we didn't put any plays in.
Like no plays. It was all about hammer and toughness.
And then take a lap.
And running and drills and bear crawling. My brother played when he was 6.
Oh
He
my
was
God.
crazy. He was 6 years old. He played with 7 and 8-year-olds. He just out there in the heat. I said, "What is this?"
My buddy sent me this video the other day. It was a youth, probably like 7th graders, right? And there's this some coaches, urban coaches.
Yes, urban
And
coaches.
they were they were MFing the kids, and they were and they went out and they were like basically going to go kill the other team.
Yeah.
And they did. And apparently they're like 89-0.
Yeah.
Like the last 4 years, the same team.
They don't. Yeah, you get a couple. Shout out to the 49ers in RC. They stacked these teams up.
Oh, that 49ers was the team?
49ers was the team back in the day. They even had the real uniforms. I'm like the 2 best teams in the city.
Pretty sure I remember playing some of them city teams.
City teams.
Dude, bro, when we used to go play the city teams, which was
Playing local, yeah.
We playing local would like venture across, township limits.
It
It was a different deal, man, because you guys were always. I felt like if it was 7th grade, I felt like you guys looked like you were like sophomores.
Or if you go play Lauren Andrews or what is his name? So there was Perry, there was Maslin, there was Canton and City, and then it was playing local. So we all used to play the different middle schools before they went to the high schools.
Yeah.
And so Maslin's, they always had guys, and there would be rumors. Maslin is playing. It's 7th and 8th. Maslin got 9th graders. They're holding everybody
They're
back.
holding them back, yeah. and they would. They would.
No, they would be like, if they was born at a certain time, they're like, why would we? They was reclassifying kids way back then. They were like, yeah, he's not. And then it get to the senior year, and all of a sudden, you'd be like, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, he timed out. He's 19.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, he's just done as a junior?
Bull.
Yeah.
When I was in, do you have time for like a quick 30 seconds?
quick story. Yeah,
All right,
go
so
ahead.
when I was in 8th grade, I was at Taft Middle School in Plain Township, Taft Middle School. And we had track meet against Crenshaw, which was a Kansas City middle school.
Yep.
And at the time, they had this young 7th grader by the name of Tyler Everett, who ended up playing for Ohio State.
Yep.
Was my team at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But he was like a year younger than me. And I've never seen a more developed kid in the 7th grade than Tyler Everett.
Jack.
He had a full mustache.
Yeah.
And veins coming out of his biceps.
And he was.
I mean, he
in
looked.
the
He,
7th grade.
and he looked like Usain Bolt in his track uniform.
He was
Jeez.
he was one of the fastest dudes. Like when he was little, by the way, he played for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
He was young. He started varsity. I was a senior, so he played varsity when he was a freshman. And he was, I'm telling you, one of the fastest people that we had seen. Like he was just running past people. He ended up he got in a car accident when he was like a sophomore.
I remember that.
And he was still fast, but he wasn't as fast as he was after he broke his leg in that car accident. But he's not lying.
And I won a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Did he? Oh, nice. There's a car alarm going off
Not
in our
winning.
garage
Went
right
to
now.
Super Bowl, sorry.
Went to Super Bowl. Okay. Oh, the Rex Grossman Bears.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What did it suck to be Rex Grossman? Like, oh, the Rex Grossman Bears.
Hey, how they got to the Super Bowl with Rex
a miracle.
Grossman, I'll never
Have
know.
no clue.
Miracle.
I mean, has there ever been a bigger differential than Peyton Manning versus Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl?
And then they returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I thought they was gonna win.
It was in the rain, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wasn't
It
like
was
the
in
first Super Bowl
Miami.
in the rain?
Miami.
And then that was it. All right. Hopefully that horn will stop. I don't know if the fans can hear the horn going off in the garage. But anyway, all right, let's switch it up. We got one more Browns topic here. The Browns are continuing to have one of the many problems they're having on offense, guys, is the drops. Was that your car, Anthony?
No, that is funny timing that I'm back, but it was not my car. It was the exact same car as last time, actually. But let's get back to the rookie report, Bull.
Oh, yeah, we didn't finish the rookie report.
Yeah, I heard you mention a receiver.
Sorry, we got sidetracked. Okay, let's go to the defensive players, and let's start with Carson Swessinger. What do we think of his performance yesterday?
Another exciting white.
Yep, another exciting Carson Matthews.
Yeah.
The distant cousin of Clay is he's a playmaker. He's just, he's in on a lot. It looks like his numbers just flashes. He's a 3-down linebacker. All he's going to do is get better. Like, as they develop with him and Mason Graham and figuring out where they fit, he's going to be one of them dudes.
He looked nice in his all-white uniforms yesterday.
Yes, he did.
He looked like a big-time NFL linebacker.
I can see.
Look at that hair, dude. I mean,
yeah.
if you don't think that guy's like the next Clay Matthews or whatever, like I think he's gonna be.
Hey, he came out of nowhere. Listen, people say you didn't know nothing about Carson Sweat. No, I didn't at all. He played for UCLA.
Nobody knew anything about him.
I'm like, I don't know. And these are the picks where you got to say, okay, I'll give you credit. That's a nice pick.
Yeah, looks like a great pick.
Especially at linebacker, taking him in the second round.
And they need him on defense, by the way, UCLA. They haven't won a game since he's been drafted. and they haven't made a tackle either.
Coach is gone. They look nasty over there. Deshaun Foster.
Yeah, who hired him?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a terrible
hire. Is it Arian Foster?
Aaron Foster was the Houston Texans. Deshaun Foster, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
UCLA former running back.
Oh, he was the coach who got fired.
He was the coach who got fired.
Yeah. All right. And finally, Mason Graham. It's always hard with the defensive tackles. He didn't make much of an impact yesterday.
I mean, yesterday, I got to see the tape, though. I'm waiting to get that all 22. But they got a nice offensive line. There were some things, and the Browns still played well.
Yeah.
But the way they lined it up, when they double teaming and getting to the linebackers.
Yeah.
They could do some stuff in Detroit. I'm like, okay.
I thought it was the least impact Myles Garrett had in any game this year was this game.
Like, I thought he was close a few times.
Yeah.
But Goff did a good job of getting rid of the ball. Like, they got a really nice offensive line. So Mason Graham, and here's the thing about defense tackles. You're not going to see, unless you're Aaron, this is why I keep trying to tell you, unless you're Aaron Donald, there's not going to be this huge impact that you see visually week to week. It's just tough being an interior lineman, especially in those tackles.
Browns completely shut down David Montgomery in this game. He did nothing but Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, my God. That guy is so electric.
And they have their backup running back is basically a starter.
Yeah. But Montgomery didn't do much.
Yeah, I know, but Gibbs is unbelievable.
I mean, Gibbs, he's so electric. I mean,
and it's not as if he's like we had Eric Metcalf back in the day. Eric Metcalf – he wasn't the guy that you was going in between the tackles with.
Well, they run between the tackles with him.
Jahmyr Gibbs, he ain't got no problem running through you a little bit. Yeah. He gave you wiggle to get outside. Like, he is
that touchdown run he had that nice wiggle on that play. And then he goes untouched into the end zone. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he won it.
All right, we'll talk about the drops another time. Sick of talking about the Browns. Let's get back to
let's go back to the fun team of Guardians. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes all in less than 60 seconds. I've been playing Prize Picks for a while, and it's just such a fun way to stay locked into football for the entire season. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
So let's look ahead to the playoffs now, guys. The Guardians made the playoffs this weekend. They won the division on Sunday when the Tigers lost. And there's the schedule. Now, that 1 p.m. game on Thursday, if they do play Thursday, the time of that game could change potentially. But they will play at technically 1:08 p.m. tomorrow. and 1:08 p.m. on Wednesday. Those times are locked in the first 2 games of the series.
What are we on, TBS?
No, I think it's on ESPN, I believe. Anthony, can you double check that?
They are all on ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No more. I don't think TBS is in
You
it.
lost
anymore.
it? Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can use your Guardians TV either for the playoffs if you got the Guardians
No,
TV
but-
package.
They can't use it.
Yeah, I don't think you
No,
can.
no. But most people, if
Have ESPN.
you're a sports fan, you have ESPN. So, I think the Cubs-Padres series is on ABC, and the other 3 are on ESPN.
ABC.
Yeah.
That's strange a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, that'll be on ESPN at 1:08. For us, it's not bad. I like the day games.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
for
yeah.
a lot of fans, it's
people
not
is
great
not-
because
yeah.
you got to be at work, so that kind of stinks to have the game in the middle of the afternoon. By the way, for every Guardians playoff game, there'll be 2 post-game shows. One for me, I'll be doing my Bet Rivers podcast live immediately following every Guardians game, and then roughly 3 hours after the game, after Zach talks to the players, talks to the manager and coaches, does his stuff. We'll have an Ultimate Guardian show roughly 3 hours after every playoff game. So that'll be coming up. We did one this morning to preview the playoffs. Game 1, like we said, is Tuesday at 1:08. It'll be Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, and it'll be most likely Gavin Williams for the Guardians. Listen, the Guardians have won the last 2 games that Tarek Skubal has pitched against them. Not like they scored a million runs against him, but they've done just enough. Obviously you give the edge to Skubal versus Gavin Williams, but the game is at home. Gavin Williams has been great, and you wonder if there's any after effects from Skubal from hitting Fry. If he's
How can there not be, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, you watch that guy and his reaction. Now he knows that Fry's okay. Maybe
Right.
things have calmed down a little bit,
Yeah.
but there's still got to be some sense of like, I don't know. When you're a pitcher and you're throwing that thing at 100 miles an hour, there's sort of a responsibility that you could really injure somebody
Yeah.
if you lose control of it. And
Yep.
you know what? He didn't mean to do that.
Of course.
And it was
Yeah.
a really odd thing because it may have hit the bat. I don't know if it hit the bat or not, but either way,
I don't think it did.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be in his mind. He won't pitch the way he did when he after that.
Probably
I don't
not.
think.
I'm not living in my fears. Right? I'm not living in them. But there's something about playing teams that many times in a short period of time.
Very unusual.
I just
3
don't-
times in like 2 weeks.
I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard a soundbite of saying, "Man, we keep seeing these Tigers, right? We keep seeing them."
Yeah.
And once you get, and I don't know, I ask you this: they are playing a lot of young guys, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And some of these young guys may have not had a book out, but now you done played the same team how many times in a row?
Right.
And I gotta believe that the Tigers' pitching staff, especially Skubal, is gonna be dialed in, ready to go, because they're like, all right, well, we know what they do, we understand it, we understand how to attack this, and I think he's gonna be ready to come in to kind of change the complexion. So it's a short series, right? Game 1 is super pivotal. Whoever takes game 1, in my opinion, has a huge advantage the next 2 games because you're facing an elimination game a couple of times. So for the Tigers, if they want to come in here, they're like, look, wash away all of that other stuff. Yeah, they beat us these amount of games. Yeah, they caught us, but yet and still, we are still here again with everything in front of us against a team
That's right.
we played all year that we're familiar with. So they feeling good about Skubal being back on the mound against a team that hasn't really hit the ball really well. So this is, to me, going to be very – I expect the series to mirror what happened last year, where it's going to go down to the last few innings of Game 3.
You know, they switched to this format just a few years ago. So there's been 14 best-of-3 wildcard series since they went to this, from just a 1 game to a best-of-3. And the team that won Game 1 won Game 2 in 12 of the 14 series. So 12 of the 14 times they've done this, it's been a sweep. So that makes the first game imperative. Now, as good as Gavin Williams been, it's still a pitching edge for the Tigers. I don't think it's huge at the moment, but it's still an edge. And I could see a scenario, the way the Guardians have been lately, where they lose the first game and then win 2 and 3. I don't think that's impossible. But obviously, fans are certainly going to be nervous if they lose game 1. But there's something to be said that the Guardians just have a little magic dust right now. And maybe that's going to run out. I'm not a big, baseball gods and all that stuff type of guy, obviously. But
Rick Gamla?
Yeah.
Epic moment on the
basketball
on
gods.
Fox.
Oh, he was so mad at me.
Adam.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this
Yeah.
much. If you're the Tigers, who's the one team you don't want to face? Well, you're not helping me. It's the Guardians.
Sorry.
It's the Guardians.
I'm sorry. I don't necessarily agree with that.
That's fine. But
But
that's my point. I think it's the Guardians.
Okay.
Because I think they have their number.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd think going into the series that the Tigers would be lacking confidence, even though they made the playoffs, and that the Guardians just got to feel untouchable.
If the Tigers don't win tomorrow, they're cooked.
Yeah, 100%. The Tigers will not come back and win 2 and 3. The Guardians, I think, could. The Tigers will not. I agree with that.
So, say for instance, if the Tigers would have won the division, who would they have played? Could it have
been the Guardians?
So think about this.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If I'm going in there and I'm telling them, hey guys, we collapsed down the backstretch, and we lost the division to these same guys. But guess what? If we would have won the division and held on, we still would be playing these guys.
Right. Now the games would have been in Detroit instead of Cleveland.
Yes.
But the Guardians went 6-1 in Detroit this year.
So either way, if you look at it, you go in, and I guess what you're preaching is this is a 3-game for the rest of your life series, right? This is 3 games. Like whatever happened in the regular season, and for the Guardians, my thing is in the back of your mind, I got a magic, every time we get here, I got a magic number they need to get to. I don't feel safe with the Guardians until they get to 5 in the playoffs. If you can give me 4 or 5, I feel confident that you can win. The problem is I don't want them to have 2 or 3 or 1 or 2, especially given the fact that they do have Scooby on the mound. And you know how we beat him the last game, and he only gave up, 4 hits?
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't give up crazy hits.
You might need Gavin Williams, and the bullpen may need to combine for a shutout for them to win this game. I mean, you might only get 1 to run off Scooble.
What are you confident? What number of runs are you confident with that you think that it gives the Guardians a good chance to win the game? Is there a magic number of runs that they got to get?
Yeah, I mean, I think 4 is the number. I think with 4 runs, they're gonna win a high percentage of their games. The way they've pitched, I got a lot of faith in the pitching right now. I think the starting pitching especially, it's perfect timing for them for playoffs because they are in the zone like across the board right now. It's going to be interesting to see what they do because Bybee's going to pitch game 2, right? I'm assuming. I think it's pretty safe. That's the question. Game 3. So I think Logan Allen is going to be off the playoff. He won't even be on the roster.
They gave him the lively?
Well, in this case, he pitched yesterday, so he couldn't really pitch in the series anyway. They could bring him back for the ALDS if they get there, but you got to take 2 guys off the roster because in September you have 28 guys on the roster, and then the playoffs it goes back to 26. So Zach and I were saying today we think it's going to be Logan Allen and Zach Kent, who's the last guy in the bullpen. They'll keep their 14 hitters. And those guys will be off the roster. So Gavin and Bybee will pitch 1 and 2. Game 3, if it does get to a game 3, which hopefully it will not, but if it gets to a game 3, they got to decide, I believe, between Cantillo and Slade Ciccone. Now, I've liked Cantillo for a while. I love the way he's pitched. If you're a real baseball nerd, like a pitching nerd, you could see that every time he's come up, he's made adjustments to his game, which is fascinating to see.
That's Jason's dude, but Ciccone,
I mean, look at that. 108 strikeouts in 95 innings. I mean, that's real. And the walks are high, right, for the season. But in September, he only walked 6 guys. Wow. And that's the difference. That's what's made him – that's what's taken him from, like, he's okay to, like, this guy's a good pitcher now. Now, I don't know what his whole career is going to look like. I have a lot of promise for him. Jason, you're right. Jason likes him as well. The only reason I think they might start Ciccone in the 3rd game, if it got to that, is the Tigers are much better against lefties than they are against righties. And Cantillo's a lefty, Saccone's a righty. Obviously, he didn't pitch great against the Rangers. He gave up the 4 runs in the first inning Friday night. Besides that, he's pitched great all month. So he had a bad start to the month. I'm sorry, he had a great month and then one bad start. But he doesn't get the strikeouts generally like Cantillo's been getting them. So I like the strikeout pitcher when I'm deciding between two. But Zach thought they might use both of them. Like, you start one of them and then you go to the other by like the 3rd, 4th inning.
Right.
And because the Tigers, like the Guardians, do a lot of platooning, and that could kind of screw up their lineup. So we'll see. But, yeah, they'll have to make the decision. But by the way, one little nugget that Zach dropped on me this morning. You know, we've seen the prospects come up, right? Manzardo's established in the big leagues. We saw Kafis and Valera come up late in the season. Another guy we've been talking about for a while. So this time of year, the minor league baseball seasons are over, right? AAA over. It's all done. But what every team does that's going to be in the playoffs, including the Guardians, is they have a taxi squad, I believe in Columbus, and they're just like practicing and doing scrimmages or whatever, staying ready in case the big league roster needs them. Now, again, let me make it clear that when Zach brought this up, this is far from a sure thing that this might happen. But one member of that practice squad for the Guardians in Columbus.
Bazzana.
No, not Bazzana. He's done for the year. But Chase DeLauder, their other top prospect. So I don't know. I would guess he doesn't get the call up, but if they win the first round and maybe they end up with an injury or something, maybe we could see him. But he is staying ready in AAA. Imagine making your major league debut in the playoffs. That hasn't happened very often, but that's a possibility with Chase DeLauder. Anybody that was in the Guardians organization before September 1st is eligible to play in the postseason, even if you've never been in the majors before. So there you go.
Looking at this,
Yeah.
and getting to it, if you got Kafis, right?
Yeah.
Left-hand bat.
Yep.
Manzardo, left-hand bat.
Yep.
I believe Valero.
Yeah.
Does that change the way you're looking at who's in the lineup against Scooble?
It's going to be interesting to see what they do because obviously Scooble's a very tough lefty, and they've been using John Kenzie, Noel, and this last week, Jonathan Rodriguez against lefties. I don't love either of them, although Rodriguez had a nice weekend.
Yeah.
And Big Christmas did hit a home run yesterday, but he's had a miserable season. I think Manzardo's to the point now where he has to be in the lineup.
Yes.
He will be. I'll be shocked if he's – now, he might bat lower in the lineup than he would against a righty, but against School, I'm leaving him in the lineup. Personally, I would have Kafis in the lineup. In the minors, he didn't have like a big differential between left and right. Like he was able to hit lefties in the minors. I think CJ Kafis is just, and again, you know, his numbers in the big leagues weren't amazing, but those are solid. At the batting, forget the batting average. The rest of it, those are like for a rookie that just made his major league debut like a month ago. Those are pretty solid numbers. Like if you watched him play every day, he looks like a pro. So I would personally have Kafis in the lineup, and I would have Manzardo, DH. I'd sit Valera against the lefty. I'd have Kafis play right field, and then I'd play either Rodriguez or Big Christmas at first base. I just don't want to see it. Manzardo at first base is really ugly right now. He's got to work on it in spring training because a young player, you shouldn't be that bad defensively. And he's really bad. So he's got to do a lot of work on his defense.
I need all my power.
Yeah.
I need all the power.
But I got to have Manzardo and Kafis. I would. My guess is Manzardo will be in the lineup. Kafis will not. And they'll play Rodriguez and Big Christmas. But we shall see. All right. We've talked a lot of Guardians today. We've talked a lot of Browns today. Normally on the last Monday of September, you wouldn't necessarily be talking Cavs. But today is media day. I don't know if is it at the arena or is it at the Cleveland Clinic courts?
It's down at Rocket Arena, and Mike and Earl are going to join us here off the bat. Jason's going to come on a little bit later, and then possibly a special guest. So let me do an ad read here, and we'll toss it to Mike and Earl.
All right, very good.
Guys, Cavs Media Day is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies and making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or you just need a little extra push to get through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse favorites you love without ever leaving the green. And golf is all about good times and good people, especially good flavors. The grape, ginger, and lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without ever leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. It excludes the Masters tournament, and it ends October 31st, 2025.
All right, let's send it to the Rocket Arena. I keep forgetting what it's called. They've changed the name 80,000 times already. Mikey McNuggets is there. Earl the Pearl is there. Look at these guys.
This is a very
What's up,
professional
Bull? What up?
show we got here. Look at this thing.
Look at that. Look at this setup.
Yeah, everything's going well, guys. We're at Media Day here at Rocket Arena. Donovan Mitchell is going to join us here in the next 15-ish minutes, 20 minutes. He's doing 2 more radio interviews before he gets to us, so he may be on the show today or maybe it'll be a YouTube exclusive. Right now I'm joined by Earl the Pearl. Jason Lloyd's going to join us in a second. Earl, we've had an eventful Media Day. We've sat down one-on-one with Kenny Atkinson. We've sat down one-on-one with Kobe Altman. We've got Tyrese Proctor one-on-one. We're about to get Donovan Mitchell for an exclusive interview, and while I was doing that, you were over at the podiums talking to the players, getting sound from them. What was your main takeaway from what some of these Cavs players said coming off last season's playoff failure, getting ready for what should be another highly successful 2025-2026
well, first
season?
things first, shout out to Spider. He talked about his offseason and just spending a lot of time with his fiance, traveling with her on tour, and he said it kind of felt like the season never ended. He got to get essentially a new experience of what it's like to see a musician on tour. But I think my biggest takeaway was these players got the opportunity to spend more time with Kenny Atkinson this offseason, and they benefited from it, whether it be from a conditioning standpoint, just a relationship building standpoint, and then for Kenny just to be able to, spend that time with each player individually and see how he can get to know that person and how this person can fit into what it is the Cleveland Cavaliers are trying to do overall. To me, it seems like a group that is not really too pressed or worried about what happened last year. It sounds like they've turned the page. They have a renewed sense of energy, and they're focused on, doing what they can do this year. Donovan said it best. Last year's last year. We just move forward. We move on. He talked about coming up short and just the lessons they learned from that. And they learn about themselves as a team, as a group, and as individuals. He talked about the character of this team and what he learned about, the people that he played with. And so I just gather a group that's turned the page, that's ready to go, that had the opportunity to spend more time with their head coach. And every single player got the benefit from that. One word I heard the most was conditioning, how they have new drills and new training regimens when it comes to keeping themselves conditioned. So.
Yeah, they need that. Obviously, what happened against Indiana, especially later in that series after some guys got hurt, the guys who were playing just simply weren't up to the task to carry that load for 48 minutes a night. And when I was talking to Kenny Atkinson, who, by the way, Kenny's like 4 feet that way to us. We can't turn the camera, but Kenny's literally right there.
He's sitting right next to him.
Yeah, he talked about a renewed energy and how this offseason he was actually part of the Cavs planning process. He came in late. Remember the head coaching search last year took a while. He was working with Coach Team France in the Olympic basketball process. So he didn't get a chance to kind of put his full impact on the team early. And that you could turn anything you want. You could put a spin zone on anything, right?
Right.
They still won 64 games without a full offseason implementing Kenny's offense and defensive system. Now it's a full year with that knowledge under their belt. They're starting off with some injuries. Darius and Max missed the beginning of the season, but he seems super high on Jalen Tyson, on Sam Merrill, who he swears is a better defender than we give him credit for. So hopefully Sam can prove us wrong and him right later. But there's an energy in the air about this team, Earl, because I do think, to your point, they know last year did not end in an acceptable fashion.
Right.
And the expectations are very evident and written on the walls here saying, we have to get to level X or else. And when that is put in front of you, it's hard to shy away from it.
And Donovan spoke to that as well, and how you won't see too much of a difference. That he was asking, like, what is the one thing that you worked on in your game to kind of improve from last year to this year? And he said, me, Ev, DG, et cetera, like, yeah, we worked on some things, but you all should be really, really excited about the guys like Proctor, about the guys like Lonzo Ball, about the guys like Jalen Tyson, who actually spent that time with Kenny and what they're going to show to the world this year. And he spoke like a man that we got some guys that's going to be key guys that are better than what people expect or than what people know. And he can't wait for the world to see these young people, put on display the work that they put in this offseason.
They're going to need it. I mean, they need contributions. They lost some guys from last year's bench. They're counting on guys like Sam Merrill, on Lonzo Ball, on Larry Nance Jr., who, being honest, they've had some of their health issues. They're struggled staying healthy at times in their career. So they're going to need top to bottom guys to actually be on the court, and when they are on the court, provide valuable minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. Lonzo Ball, man, he's enjoying Cleveland. He talked about he liked the city of Cleveland. I came and told you in private. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it on our YouTube page by now. He didn't know Cleveland had water.
These dudes don't look at maps. These dudes don't look at maps. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So, hey Zach, go find Jason Lloyd. It's Jason's time to shine. Right, yeah, here comes Jason. So we're gonna get Jason in here in a sec. Earl, any final thoughts here from Media Day as we let you go? By the way, the reason we're letting Earl go a little early is so we can corral Donovan when he's finished with his next interview and make sure Donovan sits down.
Yeah, I had to talk to my guy, man, make sure he got over here and talk to us. Well, I think my final takeaway or my final thought from any of this is, like I said, we already knew that this was a close-knit group. And what I gather from this is the adversity that they experienced last year made them closer. I think that they found out things about themselves that is only going to make this a better basketball team going forward. It seems like everybody has been here since late August, early September, putting in work, spending time together, playing pickup basketball before training camp even started. And so that tells me that everybody is already locked in. Everybody is already focusing on the overall goal, which is to bring another NBA championship to the city of Cleveland, ironically, which is the 10th season anniversary since our last championship. So.
Awesome. Earl the Pearl, we appreciate your insights. Earl, we're going to bring in Jason Lloyd now. Jason, of The Athletic, also the co-host of the Ultimate Cavs Show. We are going to bring Jason in here. As he sits down, Donovan has moved over one table from us, so we are going to keep kind of riffing here till Donovan's ready. We might get Donovan live on the show. If not, we'll record. But Jason, how you doing today, man?
Lovely. How are you?
Good. How was your 93rd Cavs Media Day experience?
They're all the same, man. It's a car wash. They all run together. I don't know. This team just feels markedly different because what they've accomplished in the regular season, what they still have to accomplish in the postseason. Like, it's all we've got to the point where the regular season doesn't matter as much with this team. It's all about what they do in the postseason. They know that, and we know that. So it just feels like a really long appetizer course until we get to the main entree in April.
Well, as Earl just said, and as I kind of heard from talking to Kobe, Kenny, and Tyrese, there are different facets of this team that are worth kind of looking at as we get ready for the upcoming season. And one of those is the depth. They lost Ty Jerome. They have some questions with figuring out exactly where some of that bench scoring is going to come from, especially if DeAndre starts the season in the starting lineup with Max Strus hurt. So, Jason, where do you think some of that bench scoring may come from if it isn't DeAndre Hunter because he's been inserted to the starting lineup?
I mean, I think Jalen Tyson's going to be asked to do a lot on this team. Maybe he does find himself in the starting role at various points. Oh, Darius just talked on the podium about he's back on the court, moving around, and there's nothing he can't do.
Real quick, I didn't see Darius. Did he look bigger? I know Kobe and Kenny said last week. I did notice he was wearing a T-shirt and shooting sleeves to kind of cover it up.
Yeah, he definitely needed to put on a little bit of weight. So I think it is a good thing. I don't know. I don't think he's ever going to come out and look like he belongs on the magazine of a bodybuilding magazine. But, yeah, like he it's been the thing on him for a few years now is he's got to get just a little bit bigger and add a little bit more muscle. And it sounds like he's doing great in terms of his rehab. And he said he's got a date in mind. He's not going to say what it is. He was asked if he's going to miss time during the regular season. He said he's not sure yet, but he's back on the court. And he said he's not limited in any way right now. And so that's obviously a good sign. I don't know that they necessarily need him opening night. I think it's fine if he does miss some time and they're able to experiment with some different lineups and try some different things out. But, listen, Sam got paid. And good on him for doing so and sort of being that guy who grinded his way for a number of years. And now to which much is given, much is expected. So he's going to be expected to have a larger role on this team. And we mentioned Proctor. I don't know if he'll play right away early, but certainly there's going to be opportunities you would think on this team. And like I said, Jalen, I think Jalen can carve out a nice role for himself on this team.
One of the things I talked to both Kenny and Kobe about was this new CLA process of training, which there was a whole an article in the Athletic, talking about how the Cavs have kind of dove in and fully embraced, not just sprinkled a little CLA into their player development. They have fully embraced it. Yeah. And guys like Tyrese Proctor, Naquan Tomlin, Luke Travers, I'm curious to see how they get distributed between the G League and the NBA team, because part of the CLA thing is you need those reps. The reps are the most important part, and not just any reps, game reps where you're making these decisions. So for a guy like Proctor, for example, what benefits his development more? Playing 600 G League minutes and being the primary facilitator and decision maker with the Charge, or being a guy who's with the Cavs, getting in sparingly because they already have a NBA caliber roster and backup point guard, and those decision making reps are few and further between. I'm not sure what the right answer is. I'm not sure there's a wrong answer either.
I think you can make a case that the minutes with the Cavs are more important, but he's going to need the G League reps too, if that makes sense, because you can't just rely on sparing garbage time minutes or a little bit here and there. So certainly he's a guy I would think it's going to spend a fair amount of time in the G League. But yeah, the whole CLA thing, you're going to start hearing about it more and more and more. It is fascinating. Alex Sarama, the Cavs assistant, is sort of the godfather to the whole thing. I just found out about it over the summer. It's the first time that I started hearing about it and started to dig on it and learn a little bit more. And we'll see if this becomes the new trend across the NBA. There's other players and other teams, the Grizzlies, Wembanyama. There's other players and teams that are sort of adopting this. And like, listen, all of these teams are looking for any little edge they can find on the margins, and this is the latest sort of trend.
We're going to stay because Donovan's coming over to us in a second. But, Jason, if you were in my seat and had a chance to ask Donovan one question, what would you ask him? Because I will ask him your question.
I would ask him, you know what I would ask him? Last year when we saw him at the end of the season, he kept saying, like, you guys are going to write so much crap. I know you guys are going to write so much crap about us. So what was the most outlandish or outrageous thing that he saw that was written or said about them after last season ended? Okay, that is a good question. I will certainly ask.
That's what I would ask him.
Hey, Earl, do you get the sense that Donovan's about to wrap, or should we keep going here? All right, well, hey, we're gonna toss back to the studio. If we get Don, I will text Ant. We'll try to get back in live. But Ant, if you want to start reading some super chats, we will wait till we get Donovan Mitchell and try to cut in here for a live interview with Donovan. That's gonna wrap it up from Cavs Media Day. Earl the Pearl, Jason Lloyd, I'm Mikey McNuggets. We may see you again in a few seconds with a live interview with Donovan Mitchell. But until then, we appreciate you watching. And Ant, good luck with all the super chats today.
There are a lot of them.
It's so funny. If only the rest of the audience could hear how we hear. What's that picture? Looks so weird right now. Yeah, how we heard Mike, because he sounds like a chipmunk, like one of the chipmunks in our ear for some reason. But everybody else is hearing him normally.
Do you even think they know what the chipmunks are?
Yeah, I guess the younger members don't. All right, let's get to some super chats. We may go back to Mike. We may not. Well, let's do some super chats.
Yeah, I'll stay on the line with Mike here while I read some of these guys. Captain Goku, 2280. Hey, guys, I think now is the time to change QBs. I am done with Flacco. Stefanski needs to make the change, or the Browns will have one win this season. I think we all kind of agreed to that earlier in the show.
One win, but not much more than that. I don't know that they're going to win any more games with the other guys either, but at least let's find out.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to make this point yet, but we were talking before the show. It just feels like a waste of time season, and at least with the young guys in, it won't feel as much like a waste
because you either find out that one or both of them can play, or you at least you think you find out they can play or they can't, and it makes it a little easier to move on or not move on.
Yeah, it gives it, and it actually, whether it being punitive, it actually gives the coaching staff more credibility. Because at least they can come in and say, guys, we're turning over every stone to figure this thing out. There was some good, there was some bad. We saw a lot of games with the rookies. It is what it is. But I think it would give them much more credibility.
Can Mike and Jason hear us right now as we send it? Because I think
once Mike gets his headset on, he will be able to hear you. Let's wait for Donovan Mitchell here to get ready.
Okay.
And I'll let you know when to toss it to him. Riff for like two
Will
seconds,
Donovan
guys.
Mitchell be able to hear us?
Yes. He should be able to hear you guys back in the headset.
He's a huge Mets fan.
Oh, you can ask him a Mets question.
I got it. That's the important question. Forget basketball. I'm telling you, he's locked in on base. Can Donovan Mitchell hear us right now, Mike?
Yeah, but you don't get a chance to ask a question, Bull. We got 2 minutes here with Donovan.
I'll do 3. I ain't tripping.
But
we
he's
got
got
3 minutes
upset.
with Donovan. Donovan Mitchell, appreciate you joining us.
Okay,
Always makes time for us here at Cavs.
Got to ask him about the Mets, Mike. Ask him about the Mets. What happened to the Mets?
Is that what I hear?
Bull, shut up.
I can hear about
Bull,
the Mets.
shut up.
It's all
He
right,
can hear you
man.
about the
It's
Mets.
tough.
He doesn't want to talk
It's
about the
tough.
Mets right now. We get him for 2 minutes at Media Day. We got to ask some basketball questions. But, Don, you said at the end of last season you were going to hear and read everything that was written about this team. So I'm curious, did anything stick out? What was the most outrageous thing you heard or read about this team following last year's playoff collapse?
You know what's funny? I lied. Like, I really thought I'd be in it. Like, oh, I'm all over it. Honestly, I got off of social media, and I really haven't gone in depth like I haven't. I think for me, what's the saying? I've chose peace. I just feel like for me, I've heard it all. Like, you know what I mean? This is as unfortunate as that saying is. Like, I've been here before. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've lost in the second round before. I've lost with expectations. This isn't my first time. I know who I am. You know what I mean? If I'm not, no need to go look for external. There's so much internal motivation that I have right now. I don't even think anything anybody could say would get me to that point. I think for me, it's just like there's so much that I, know that I can accomplish and that we can accomplish that I don't need, First Take, for example, or if you guys are talking shit, or excuse me, if ESPN Cleveland's talking shit.
You're Donovan Mitchell. You can say whatever you got to say.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But I think that's that. I don't need that. And I think that's part of the progression. I talked about the mental progression. I think that's part of it. Is like, hey, there's so much here already that I don't need anything else.
Kobe and Kenny said last week at their press conference that you are already in midseason form, and they have to actually ramp you down so that you have enough energy to sustain it throughout the season.
Yeah.
So now what does midseason form on September 29th look like in your mind?
Desperation. I feel like that is where we are at as a group. I feel like it starts with me as a leader. If I come in 10 pounds overweight and trying to play my way into it and do all those different things, what type of tone does that set for the group? Like I said at the podium, I would rather, and I want to be clear, like there's no real answer. Like, you know what I mean? And Kenny and Kobe, we've had these conversations since they said that. Like everybody's talking, but like obviously, yeah, we've spoken on it. And, I think the biggest thing is like, I'd rather be here and have to scale back than have to play catch up, because that's where injuries happen. That's where all these things happen. I'd rather have to scale back and figure it out, just because, especially now, like it really started once Max got hurt. Once Max got hurt, I was like, okay, DG was already going to be out. I knew that. Possibly start. I don't really know what that's like. But once Max was out, I was like, okay, there's going to be more on my shoulders. Obviously, yes, getting Evan, getting Dre, getting those guys involved, but there's always going to be more on my shoulders. And I just need to be ready for it if that time comes. Now, if Evan's like averaging 30, 20, and 10 to start the season, then hey, like I'm over here. But like in the event that I'm needed, and obviously I'm going to be needed, but to do more, I'm going to have to, I'll be ready for that. So that's kind of where I'm at, is like, all right, this day, as I said up there, it's time. Like there's really no other way to phrase it.
We got one last question.
Yeah.
I have bought every Evan Mobley stock available. If there's an Evan Mobley stock for sale, I have already bought it, Donovan. Kenny said last week he took a major jump in last season, but he still has another jump in him to get to that top 5 level of player that I believe he can be. And I know you said you believe he can be. So we know what Evan's jump was last year. What do you envision Evan's jump this year looking like?
I think, and I tell everybody this, as unfortunate as it is that we are starting the season with our two starting guards and Max and DG, I think that'll allow us to see that. And obviously it will continue, but I think he was already ready for it. And I think I always tell people there's a want-to with Evan. You can want it for him. I can want it for him. Everybody can want it for him, but he wants to. So now it's just a matter of on a consistent basis. So I think for him, I think it's a mentality shift with him. Like basketball is going to be basketball. He works on his game. I see it. He works his butt off. But I think now it's like, all right, what do you feel? Like, are you in your brain? Like, what do you feel? Do you feel like you belong? Not to say he didn't.
Yeah.
But like he walks into a room with a certain aura, and there's one thing to say, but another thing to believe it. I think now he's starting to believe it. Maybe not fully, but like as you shouldn't at 23 or 12 or like 24. Like there's another level to that, but I think he's really starting to scratch that surface, and that's why I believe and we believe. All right, he's here, because once you start walking around like you belong, and like having that vibe, and I think obviously just getting paid all that money, just getting the awards, the stuff that help. 1,000%. But I think he believes like, yeah, this is who I am. So I'm excited for him.
10 seconds on the Mets real quick.
Well, go ahead.
The floor is yours. Yeah, 10 seconds.
Sometimes you need this to remind yourself how good it is making the playoffs. So I've gotten to that point. You just need to, sometimes you just need to suck, and that's okay. I love everybody in that locker room, but sometimes you just need to feel that pain. And, when we right the ship, and we will, and then we'll remember moments like this for sure.
That is Donovan Mitchell, Cavs superstar. Donovan, appreciate you taking some time, man. Thank you as always. That's Donovan Mitchell. Bull, I asked about the Mets. I got your question. Back to you guys.
Good job, Mikey McNuggets. Even though you were rude and told me to shut up, that was inappropriate, but I'll let you get away with it because you were nervous with Donovan Mitchell there. Donovan is so cool, isn't he?
Yeah, man.
He's the coolest.
That's the way to come on here and talk your stuff.
Yeah.
And understand, because we're going to get on him. I got Donovan Mitchell possibly being MVP. I already said it right now.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley evolution. But I like the way you embrace that. You know what it is. You know what we were expecting. The second-round loss was nasty work.
Yeah.
We is not looking for no second-round loss. And guess what? You're going to look back on the situation and say, you know what? I'm glad they pushed us like that. They got expectations for what we're doing.
Yeah.
I just want everybody else, all the rest of the teams that we talk about, the Guardians, Cavs, they're going to make it. The expectation levels ratchet up. It ain't about being negative all the time. It's about, hey, we want the trophy, man.
And there's not been much negative about Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he's done his part. He shows up, it's the other guys. Donovan Mitchell's been everything that you could have asked for as a superstar when the Cavs traded for him. He is a great leader. He is unselfish. He's a total team guy. He comes through in the clutch. I blame him zero for their failures.
And he has, and I know this ain't what the goal is, but he has a chance to go down as an all-time great Cavalier.
Yeah, no doubt.
And how tough is that to do if you weren't drafted here? I mean, he's transformed the expectation levels to a level where we only saw LeBron be at when it comes to championships.
And he's fans love him. He's got a great personality. You never know a guy. We don't know him personally. I don't know what he's like. Seems like a really good dude.
He gets it. He understands
I like that he's into baseball. And I wasn't bringing up the Mets to bust his chops. It was more like, now's your chance to rant about the Mets,
right?
Joking there in the playoffs. But I know he's a big baseball fan. Even though, listen, and people can't get on him he's keeping it real. He roots for his team. That's his team. That's fine.
of course. I mean,
it's not like it's the Yankees. That would bother people more.
But it's his people's.
Yeah.
If you're come on, man. If Dustin, he's like, yo, I'm gonna watch the Bills game.
Yeah, right.
I played for him. I can do that.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
All right, Anthony, let's get to some more super chats.
Yeah, we got about 27 of them left, guys. Here. So Gaddy Boy 84 says Flacco is looking like Brucey from The Longest Yard.
He sent me that same super chat on the Guardian show this morning. I don't know why he sent it to the Guardian show.
Gonna get that
he might have done that by mistake, but go ahead.
Maybe. Grand Scheme, I think I'm pronouncing that right. The Browns are the only team that makes me want to take a five-star frog slash from Adam the Bull. What is
What's
a
a
five-star
frog
slash?
I don't even know what that is. I don't think I want to
don't know.
Go ahead.
Eddie, our boy Eddie Everhart, says Adam and G look like the interracial couple at Dustin's parent-teacher conference. And do you guys think Blitzer will influence the guards to sign an impact bet?
That's wild. If we did show up to parent-teacher conferences and they was
that would be funny.
So are you guys friends or?
I had an idea for a show. You and I talked about this a while ago, where G and I do practical jokes.
Right.
And there was one time where we were pretending we were brothers.
Yeah.
Not adopted, actual brothers.
Actual brothers.
And just freak people out.
And be like, no, we got we got this.
Oh, yeah, we were going to have Aaron in there, and Aaron was going to pretend you were his dad and not me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is my son right
and
here.
Then we were going to see how uncomfortable it got people. What are they doing?
It would be crazy because it would be like, oh, it's them two dudes, the black dude and the Italian white guy.
You guys are my favorite uncles. I just got to say that.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
All right, the hot sauce. Oh, actually, real quick, do you think Blitzer influences signing a big bat when he takes over?
Oh,
that was Eddie's actual question.
Oh, we're gonna push for him. Well, I'm telling him
I'll believe it when I see it. I think he's going to take over in the next couple of years, but I'll believe it when I see it.
But then again, you know how people be trying to say about we heard the same thing about Haslam, right? Everything's going to be fixed when we get this new ownership.
And he
in here.
has spent, but it hasn't fixed anything.
It ain't fixed nothing.
Go ahead. Anthony.
All right, next one. The Hot Saucers. Other teams play 4 quarters. The Browns play 1 scripted opening drive.
Yep.
Yes,
Miss Bell
fair.
70 says if Flacco plays again, Stefanski needs to be fired.
Okay.
Vernell Jackson says the only quarterback on this roster who has proven to be effective playing with a shaky line is Shador. Just play him already or fire Kevin Stefanski and hire someone with the balls to play him.
How is he proven that? He's not played in the NFL.
He had a rough offensive line in college.
That
did he
doesn't
not?
matter. That's not proving it in the NFL. He might be able to do it.
Hey.
But you don't prove playing college ball doesn't prove you anything in the NFL.
Hey, look at this pace.
Yeah.
The plan is going exactly like we wanted.
Oh, I mean, he's going to play eventually.
The pace is going. Listen. They thought they was going to wait 8-9 games with Flacco. That ship is
The
sailed.
latest he's playing is the Dolphins game.
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
think Gabriel. Go ahead.
Kirk Davis says, I guess this is the distraction from that big class loss. I'm not falling for the new shiny toy this time. Y'all need to answer the concerning questions. I have no idea what that's in reference to.
Say that again.
Big class.
I guess this is the distraction for that big class loss. I'm not falling for the new shiny toy this time. Y'all need to answer the concerning questions. I have no idea
don't
what
know
Kirk
what he's
you're
talking
talking about. Sorry about that.
The shiny. Are they talking about they signed the tackle? Is that the new shiny toy?
Maybe, or putting Dillon in there, maybe. I don't
They could
know.
be talking about the Epstein files for all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right. Brando says, why training wheels on Dillon Gabriel? Played 6 years in school. I think we all agreed that it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirk Davis says, became a member on the barbershop. # joined the fam.
There you go.
Brad Sharak. I think on the road is the best time to bring in Gabriel and bench Flacco. Let's go, Gabriel.
All right.
Vernell Jackson says, Gabriel graduated high school in 2018. If he isn't ready by now, he'll never be.
2018.
Kevin Stefanski is the most overrated coach in history, and
28.
he's not even a glorified OC.
That 2018. That means he was a whole 3 years into college before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He graduated high school a year before I graduated college. So I graduated college in 2019. I was
No,
a junior.
2 years in college. Because the 20
Yeah, 2
season
years.
would have been his 3rd year in college. The
Yes,
beginning.
that would have been his 3rd
Yeah,
season.
Yeah.
Dang.
Kirk Davis says some coaches have that it factor. Stefanski doesn't have the eye. Aggie Fury 101 says the coaches that have an impact here have toughness and grit. The culture in Cleveland is gritty. Kevin Stefanski's too soft. Dan Campbell types would thrive here. Arovo says fun Guardian stat, worst team batting average in 125-year history of the franchise.
That's crazy. And they
Our guy-
made the playoffs.
Our guy Dragon the Abandoner says experts said Dillon is a first-round pick if he was a few inches taller. He's a supercomputer and turning 25 this season. How is he not better than Flacco?
Who's the experts that said that? And he's not taller. So what's the difference if he'd be a first-round pick if he were taller? I hate when people say it. It doesn't matter. What does that matter?
I think his point is that I think everybody has reached a point where there is no this thing where Flacco we need to wait because it could get worse. No, it can't. If Dillon Gabriel had the same stat line as Flacco, I don't think it could be that worse. Like if he had 2 picks and his QBR was 29,
Yeah.
we'd be like, all right.
I mean, if I were a foot taller, I would have played Major League Baseball. But I'm out of luck.
If I was a foot taller, I would have been a professional goalkeeper. All right,
You would have, huh?
Boss, Boss Crow, the offensive line is atrocious. No amount of coaching, rah-rah motivation is going to save that. Neil Gray says bench both Joe and Stefanski. If Dart can come in and start and win for the Giants, so can Dillon, the supercomputer, 4D Browns. Let's see what that 3rd-round pick.
Dart was a top 10 pick. It's a little
listen,
different, but
to get this super. If I was a really man of marketing, so get the supercomputer T-shirts ready.
yeah, right.
I still have more than 10 left here, guys, so we're just going to fly through these.
Go.
Guys, we got hustled. Kevin Stefanski is being paid to manage them to a high first-round pick and giving talk to try and win. We knew Pickett wasn't the guy, so they sold us on Joe. We got bamboozled. Miss Bell says Browns should...
Shador.
Miss Bell says Browns S/B kept from drafting quarterbacks until Kevin's out, or should be kept from drafting quarterbacks. Okay, that's what that says. The Hot Saucers, is this the year of the block? Every game something is getting blocked, and most of them are big impact plays. The Goober asks, do you guys think we should call Bill Belichick?
No.
And James Mace Jr. says, do you guys hear the car alarm? We did. It was not my car. It was somebody else.
Oh,
Yeah,
they did
we
hear
did.
it
We
back
did.
at home.
Right.
Okay.
A good quarterback, Miss Bell says a good quarterback can pull this O-line together, a real leader. Topo42 says the mentality of the coach needing to be a motivator is so overblown. Type A athletes, they don't need extra motivation. The problem is with the team having zero talent and zero talent on the offense, plain and simple. DB Dog says, as a former cornerback, I hate the concussions have taken away Denzel's physicality. You can see he avoids hitting now, and Flacco didn't look okay. He took a big hit, and his eyes looked glossed over afterwards.
I mean, Denzel Ward had a big hit last week. What are you talking about?
He had a nice tackle last week.
I got 3 left.
Interception this week. Go ahead.
The Goober216 says, Bull, wrestling is the best sport. Aaron should love it. James Mace Jr. says, I think Donovan Mitchell will bring home the chip this year. And Shaq says, can Joe Flacco start anywhere else?
No. Maybe New Orleans. That would be
all right, guys,
it.
that's going to do it for
He wouldn't
Super
start
Chats
for
today.
They'd be complaining about it, too.
He wouldn't start for Ohio State.
Definitely not. All right, folks, we appreciate you joining us as always. We got overtime coming up in just a couple of minutes. Anthony, do you want to say something?
We'll find something to talk about in overtime.
We will.
But it won't be Browns related.
And, again, tomorrow, you have an Ultimate Brown show today, G?
No, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow what time?
5:30. Sorry.
UCSS at 11 tomorrow, of course. Ultimate Browns at 5:30. Ultimate Guardians about 7 o'clock. See ya.
Peace.